Mike Dower with Real Green Systems. Today we're going to be talking about adding new marketing data with the square footage to your marketing universe. And also we're going to talk about, if you already have data, adding square footage to that you already have. My name is Mike Dower. I've been with Real Green Systems now for going on 12 years, supplying marketing data and direct mail products to our customers. Before that, I worked for a company out of Canton, Ohio, that was Haynes & Company, sold data for 18 years there. And I've been in the lawn care industry now, going on about 26 years, providing home services, lawn care folks data for their marketing needs. So, your marketing data is the most important part of a successful direct mail and marketing campaign. A lot of people out there don't really know the quality and how important the data is to your whole marketing plan. The data is the least expensive part of your marketing, and that's where you need to spend really some of the most time to actually put together a good list for yourself. So I'm going to talk about that here today. If you're sending out a marketing piece with a price for your services, getting data with a square footage on there is very important, especially if you're priced about in the middle of the road of your competitors. Obviously, if you're the highest priced service in your area, you may not want to send a price out to show. You may want to use another offer. But a lot of people have their price points are right in the middle of the road, and this is a great opportunity for you to get new customers easier. Now, when we talk about putting together your marketing universe, building your marketing universe, Measurement Assistant is one of the first thing that comes to mind. I know a lot of you have used the Measurement Assistant tool in the past. If you haven't, please let us know and we'll provide you with a sample of that information. But going through an overhead picture and actually measuring the property or the lawn on the property and getting the actual square footage is really a great way to build your marketing universe. And by doing this, you know what the actual lawn size is. When we add square footage to your marketing universe or buying data with square footage, we're actually taking the lot size and we're doing a calculation and taking out about 30 to 50% based on the total overall size of that lot to give you the estimated lawn size. People who don't have the time to do Measurement Assistants and go in and actually measure the properties themselves, getting data with a square footage is the next best thing. So, you want to look at what areas do I want to go into. Looking at your marketing summary report in Service Assistant is one good way to see what are the zip codes that I need to add marketing data to. How many customers do I have in each individual zip code, and where do I want to go next? So you really want to look at your marketing summary report to give you the best idea for that. Also, looking at your customers, you want to see what is the average lawn size for the customers that you service. Typically, it's going to be about 12 to 15,000 square feet. Some areas are smaller if you're in a more concentrated area. Some areas are a little bit larger if you're out in the metropolitan areas and stuff. But the average lawn size that the lawn care industry services is about 12 to 15,000 square feet. So, but again, you want to be able to look at that in your system. So going and looking at your marketing summary report by zip code will allow you to see what zip codes do I want to target. Like here, for instance, this is a marketing summary report. It gives you the zip code on the left side, the city name, and then as you move over to the right, you've got marketing data that's already in the system, how many are not measured, how many are measured. You have your estimates given and through the estimate process. You have cancel customers, and you have your active customers all the way to the right. So the marketing summary report shows you by zip code where you have the most customers in each zip code. So obviously this first zip code for this particular marketing summary report, 48382, has the most customers, and that's an area where you want to be able to build your marketing universe. Now, in this report here, we've got plenty of marketing data in here, and we have it measured. So once you put the information into your system, you will see that appear, obviously, on your marketing summary report. Marketing summary report is used for a number of different things, especially if you're actually doing the measurements with the Measure Assistant tool. You can see how many you've got measured in each area. So looking at that, we want to go in and select, let's say, your top 5 or your 10 zip codes. You can email that to us, and then we can provide you a count of the single family dwellings and what that looks like with a square footage in there. So for instance, in these zip codes here, there's 5 zip codes. This is in Lansing and Jackson, Michigan. We show you how many single family dwellings there are. Some people want phones, some people don't. And then over to the right here is how many single families are there with a size of 3,000 to 25,000 square foot. So that's roughly half an acre. And using our formula, taking out 30 to 50%, we can usually get an estimate of what the lawn size is within a couple thousand square feet. So you can send out priced marketing materials, letters, postcards to those particular homes in those areas. So we can, again, provide you this count by your zip codes so you know, hey, how much data do I have? And based on how many single family dwellings there are, what is this in the square footage? So we start at 3,000 square feet. Condominiums typically are underneath 3,000 square feet, and then stop at 25,000 square feet. And for the majority of the country here, the United States, we can get that information for. There are some outlying counties that unfortunately don't provide some of this information, but a lot of the large major metropolitan areas do provide some good data, and it all comes from county records. So it is accurate information. I always recommend that no matter where you're getting data from, obviously we would like you to do it from us because we feel we have the best data possible, but you really want to verify it. So once the data gets imported into your system, you want to go through and look at some of those in Measure Assistant and see how close are they, which again, they're going to be pretty close with your zip codes. Data costs are about 6.5 cents per record with the name and the estimated lawn size based on the lot size too. So pretty inexpensive. And again, when you're looking at how much am I spending to mail a piece in that, that's one of the cheapest parts of that. I do recommend that when you go and look at this, you're doing things by square footage based on zip codes. Other people like to add a lot of different age, income, different things like that in here. That can be done, but really you pick the areas that are your best targets. Anytime you start adding age or income to things in some cases, you're really cutting out the amount of potential customers there. And I'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute or two. So importing data into Service Assistant, there's in your tools, your options, you've got your utilities for marketing, utilities and marketing import. So when you're putting data into Service Assistant, you go through the marketing import, you go into your marketing import utility, you select if there's any duplicates, you delete duplicates, matching active customers, duplicates that would be cancels with a balance. If you already have some marketing data in your system, but it doesn't have square footage, this will automatically overwrite that information as well. So we can definitely help you put that into Service Assistant. Here on the far right, you can see the land square footage and then what the estimated lawn size is. So for instance, here, the land square footage of the first one is 21,780, and we would estimate that lawn size at 17,000 square feet. Here we've got 7,841 square footage for the land size, but here we have 5,000, which would be, in some cases, your minimum for your property size that you would service in terms of pricing. But again, you can see how we've split this out, and it's been pretty accurate as the years go by. We've used the same type. In some cases, when you get into a larger property, an acre, over an acre and stuff, the amount that's taken out in most cases is going to be higher than what the actual lawn size is. And those you're going to really want to measure, or you're really going to want to market a little bit differently than sending out an actual priced piece. So, but this is, again, what you would get when you purchase that data and how it would look like in your system. So anytime you put new data into your system, I am always a big fan of, let's look at that in our mapping, our routing part. So we would go in, we would do an export, and we'd go into a routing assistant or mapping assistant, depending upon which one you're using, and service assistant. And that would then allow us to take a look at, hey, in my marketing data, where did that fill in? Did I get the areas that I wanted to? Am I hitting basically the subdivisions or the areas that I feel that were my most targeted? So, you know, once you have that, you go in. Here we've selected some things where we have active customers in here. We have some cancels, and we have some estimates, pending estimates, which you can see here with the green and then the bluish tint with marketing. So these are actually by status codes. So you always want to go in and look at that. Now, let's say, for instance, maybe we had this area down here as a condominium area, and these are bigger properties and stuff. You'll want to go in and you want to draw a box around those and add a flag code to those that it's a condo or a multifamily dwelling, okay? Because you always, again, want to check your data out and make sure that you've got what you need. And some of that stuff is going to be in there. But as long as you go through it as you put data into your system, you're not going to mail to those areas, and you're in good shape. So, okay. So, do you already have marketing data? If you already have marketing data in there, but you don't have the time to use Measurement Assistant, you can add square footage to the current data that you do have. Obviously, you know, you want to remember that the best way to build your accurate measured is to go through and do it yourself. But if again, you don't have time, we can add square footage to it. We can provide you with new data with the square footage as well, so that you can send a price piece of mail out. So here's some examples of priced offers and that on particular mailers. This is a postcard here where it's got the whole round 1 through 6. It shows, hey, you get the first round free and what your pricing is and what your savings is here. Also has an offer code on here. So if you have CAW, they can put the offer code, go to the site, put their credit card in, sign up, pay as you go, or prepay for it. And then in the letters, again, you've got your prices here, what your offer is up top here. This happens to be a price letter with an actual picture of the property there, but you have to use Measurement Assistant to do that. You don't need to have that there in your square footage stuff, but you have the price. You show your discount options and so forth, neighbors of existing customers and that. So also, what a lot of people don't realize is if you have CAW, which hopefully everybody does, you have an automatic access to your website for a potential prospect to go to and actually see, hey, you know, am I here? So they go to the customer assistant website, and if they're not, they can request an estimate here. And when you go to request an estimate, you put your house number and your street in and your zip code, and then you can be looked up in Service Assistant. And if you have that in your marketing data, they can see what that you have their information in the system. They don't have to call you. They can go through. Here it takes you to the next page, and it says, "Hey, welcome to our family of customers," and it shows what the price is per application on the piece. And then if you want to have a prepaid discount or something like that, you can set that up through the CAW code. So having the data in your system gives you a lot of different opportunities to get more new customers by just simply having the data in Service Assistant. And when you're doing your marketing, putting that information on there as far as pricing, showing them some sort of a discount with your offer or prepay and so forth. So getting data with a square footage on there is very valuable to your company and to the growth of your company. So pretty interesting. So if you have questions, please feel free to either call myself or call Danielle, who works with me here on the data side, and we'd be happy to run counts for you at no cost and go through there and let you know what's available in your area. If you already have data, we can look at possibly adding square footage to it. And depending upon the amount of data that you have, we can do a suppression file so you're not duplicating some things maybe with past customers and past estimates and things like that. So appreciate your time to view this webinar. And again, if you do have any questions or we can help you out in any way, please feel free to contact us. Have a great day, everybody.